Hey everyone, we're TowawayCouple, aka Tom and Bunny. I'm Tom, the driver.
I'm Bunny, the sandwich maker and the foot massager. Well, I gotta take care of my driver.
I'll take that. I like foot massages.
Yes.
But I don't like giving them.
No.
I'm anti-foot.
We're not even going there.
So anyway, today we're going to be talking about our orientation with Horizon Transport.
Yes. It was really quite informative.
It was.
And it was actually kind of fun.
It was fun. It was a long day, but we got to meet some great people.
We certainly did. You know, everybody we've met has been super nice.
They have. So our orientation was July 1st, and today, right now, while y'all are out watching fireworks, we're in here doing a video on July 4th. So we've been technically working for 4 days now.
Yeah. Sitting in a hotel.
Yep. So we did our first run. We'll talk about that on one of the next videos. But today we're going to talk about our experience going through orientation.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we were told our orientation would be about half a day.
Yeah.
And after orientation, we would dispatch our first haul, and we could either go right then or chill, do whatever, but we would be dispatching that afternoon. We did not know that there was going to be 12 people in orientation. 12 people goes from half a day to 9 hours like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of people with a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. And you know what? There's no dumb questions. So when you come to orientation, you got to have your questions written down. And while orientation's happening, there a lot of people popped up with questions.
Right, because remember.
We did.
Yeah, because remember, the only dumb question is the question that wasn't asked.
Right. And so with that said, you're gonna go into you're gonna go to the main office.
Uh-huh.
And when you go into your orientation, also check to see if there's a way to find out how many people are in your orientation. Maybe you could pick a smaller class.
But remember, you have to dress appropriately.
But yes, you got to wear pants.
Yes.
Not shorts. I'm wearing shorts right now.
But you at least have to wear pants.
Right. So we were not told this. When you go in there, they don't supply anything to drink or anything because right now, coronavirus.
Yes.
So everything, the break room, everything was closed off. So they did allow cups that had a lid on them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people didn't know that. So no one brought anything because, you don't think to bring something that you're supposed to only be at for a few hours. So we had our cups of coffee and our thermos mugs in the truck. So I went out and grabbed mine. I think I was the only one in there. But it had a lid on it, so I was happy. When you walk in there, they'll bring up all these Ziploc bags.
Yeah, so everybody has their own assigned little baggie.
Yeah, and it has your magnetic placards. If your car, like a lot of Fords, right, had aluminum doors.
Yes.
So some of the Fords, they had to have decals for their windows, so because they couldn't do the magnetics. And there's all your information, your books, everything that you need to
your Indiana plates that you need to display in your
permits.
Yes, so
some of your permits.
Everything that you're going to need is in your packet.
Right, but they're going to have a little Post-it note, and on the Post-it note is going to be your driver number. So you are assigned a driver number that day. You are going to get your credit card that they're going to put money on your books when you haul trailers. And you're going to also get on the Post-it note things that they need from you to complete your packet. So some people had nothing on their Post-it notes. They just had their driver number. That meant they were ready to go. Us, we had two things. Bunny needed to sign a power of attorney because both of our names were on our registration. So she had to sign over power of attorney so that way they could lease our truck from me.
Correct.
And then she had to do another release, a liability to ride with me.
Yes.
And then there was insurance. Mm-hmm. So we had to do insurance. Oh, and the weight scale. So we had a couple things. Some people had a laundry list because they probably just signed up.
Right, because there is a lot to do before you even come to orientation and all the videos that you have to watch.
Yeah, I think there was like 12 hours of videos.
Right, and the stuff that you have to buy.
And the stuff that you have to buy. Mm-hmm. And you can watch our videos. We did We haven't posted them yet, but we'd have to do the DOT physical. We have to do the DOT drug test, the DOT truck inspection. We have to buy the proper hitches, the fire extinguisher, the triangles, the torque wrench. You're going to get a list of all these things you got to buy. And we went above and beyond. We included an extended tank and everything. So we're probably into this we're about $3,000, $3,500 outfitting our truck, which we were already towing a 40-foot fifth wheel of our own.
Correct. But now we are protecting somebody else's property or future investment, not just our own.
Yeah, so like the big mud flap was a couple $100, but just all this little stuff adds up.
Right.
And then we bought some toolboxes and stuff like that. So, but that was above and beyond. But just to show you, you will have an investment in this. Mm-hmm. Now, when they come out, they talked a lot about logging. And basically when you're on duty, when you're off duty, and when you're driving.
Correct.
So they are going to distill it into you, and you're going to watch some videos. Someone else is going to come talk about something, then they're going to come back and talk about the log some more, but they just keep reminding you. But it's a good thing because we actually screwed up our first day, and we went into a gas station just to put a quick $5 in, because when you get your, what is it, the EFI card? EFS card. When you get your EFS card, you get a diesel discount. Well, 100 miles up the road was $1.80 a gallon. Where we were was $2.20 a gallon. So 40 cents a gallon cheaper was worth just splashing up enough just to get 100 miles down the road. And when we did that, we put on duty gassing up, and then 100 miles down the road, we show on duty gassing up again. And when we called about something, they go, well, how come you got gas twice in 100 miles? Do you have a leak in your tank or something? So the first one, we should have marked ourselves off duty because we technically weren't filling up.
Right, we were just going to splash.
We were just taking a break.
We were playing NASCAR.
And that 5 minutes doesn't really apply. So once you get done with all that, they then turn you loose, and you got to go to get your driving test. Mm-hmm. Now, this is where, watch your weather. If it's hot, bring cold water. They don't supply anything out there. So it was probably about 100 degrees. And with 12 people, the driving test only took maybe 3 or 4 minutes. You had to back up to a trailer, and you had to do this 3-minute driving test. It was a secret or a surprise.
It was kind of a skills test.
It was a skills test, yes. But I asked Roy, the safety director or safety guy over there, and I said, so what's involved in the driving test? And he goes, that's a surprise. So I am not going to break his surprise for you.
No, you have to find out for yourself.
You got to find out for yourself. But don't stress. You got all the time in the world to do it. And I'll just tell you, make wide, slow turns, and you will get through it, no problem. I was hyperventilating before the test because when he said it was a surprise, I thought, oh, dear God.
Well, I thought the whole funniest part was 10 guys that are full of testosterone all shaking in their shoes.
None of us wanted to go first.
Everyone.
We delayed getting there, and we went third or fourth. Mm-hmm. And the guy who went first was like, oh my God, the pressure's on me in front of everyone to fail.
He was shaking. And
he was a big dude, too.
And every one of them were like, oh my God. And it's just the fact that you don't want to fail in front of
9 other dudes. Yeah. And a girl.
Just one girl.
That could have passed it. So she's never pulled a trailer, and she could have passed it.
I've pulled trailers before.
Yeah, but not under stressful conditions of a test like that. But realistically, 10 of us did it. 10 of us passed it. They said there's no time limit. The test did take a little while because, yeah, some people took a lot longer. If you have a longer wheelbase truck, it's go a little slower because your turning radius isn't as sharp as a short wheelbase like ours. But again, like I said, I did it after I hooked up in about 3 minutes. So once I went the first 2 steps, I knew I had it, and it was my anxieties came down. So after but before the test, let's step backwards one step. We didn't know this. All of a sudden, we're told to bring all this stuff, the fire extinguisher, the triangles, the torque wrench, all this stuff. And we're thinking that's just for your truck.
Mm-hmm.
But what they do is they talk to you about DOT inspections in the class. They're really distilling safety, and they really want us to succeed. So they're not being hard. They're preparing you.
Yes.
The best way I could put it.
Absolutely.
So the first thing when you get out of your truck, Roy comes over and says, everything that you're supposed to bring, I want it on your tailgate. Oh shit! I have all the. Poop. Whatever. Got to keep it G-rated. But
here, wait. Here I think we brought half of our house with us.
We
for the
brought
first run.
way more than we needed, and so now I have it all packed away. So what do? I get it all out. I unload my toolboxes. What was not on the list was on my tailgate. Everything under the sun. Roy comes over and he goes, man, I like it. You are way over prepared because just in case. But we pull a 40-foot fifth wheel for ourselves all over the country all the time. Yeah. So we're prepared for anything. And he had everybody do it, and everybody passed because we all came prepared. Mm-hmm. We watched the videos. We read exactly what we were supposed to bring. But all in all, okay, the orientation, the driving test was kind of stressful, but it was hot. 100 degrees. Nobody had anything to drink. Bunny comes up to me and says, hey, do you want a water? And I'm like, oh, yeah. So we had 3 cold waters. Bunny could have taken the cold water, but she didn't. She gave me and 2 other guys the cold waters. And then remember, there's 7 other guys. So she offered them the warm waters, and they all gladly accepted. So come prepared for that. We were told in the wintertime it can be pretty damn cold, so you might want to bring hot coffee or hot chocolate, whatever you drink, but make sure you dress appropriate. We had sunscreen and baseball caps.
Yes.
We got sunburned heads, foreheads, noses, arms.
We didn't realize that we were burning until we were already burnt.
Right. So we're trying to keep it a little bit quiet because we are in a hotel room. It is 11 o'clock at night.
And it's nothing but transporters in this hotel.
Yeah, so I don't want to wake anyone up or have them go, what the hell are those people talking about in the room next door? So after the driving test, after the mock DOT inspection, and he wanted to see paperwork, he wanted to see everything. So have everything ready.
It's funny because we had our sticker and he goes, where's your sticker? And I'm like, where do I put it?
Because we weren't told.
We weren't told where to put it.
And he told us where to put it.
Where is the most visible place where we're not going to get questioned?
Right. Because we want to go through these scales without... Right. Well, there's always going to be issues, but we want to go through seamless as possible.
Yes.
So after that, the cool thing was, because we're always in all the videos, they talk about the pre-trip inspection, the post-trip inspection. When you stop at night, when you get up before you leave, go check your trailer, make sure everything is still functional. And Roy spent a good hour and a half talking to us about how to inspect the trailer, torquing all the lugs, and we will tell you, torque your lugs, because we had our trailer, and this is personal experience, we had our trailer serviced at Camping World. We had all the hubs replaced, the drums replaced, the brakes replaced, tires replaced, everything, wheel bearings replaced. So you would think you're spending $5,500 replacing 6 everything, mm-hmm. and we pull out of there, and then we lose a wheel. And we get pulled over, and the tire shop starts checking it and find every wheel, every 5 wheels we had left, 4 were impacted so tight their impact almost didn't get them off, and the other 4 were finger tight. So you can't trust anybody but yourself. It's your safety. You're going down that road. Spend the 5 minutes. Get your torque wrench, 100. It'll say on the trailer what the foot pound. Mm-hmm. Our trailer said 100 foot-pounds, and I found one of the lugs that weren't fully tight.
Yep.
So that proved right there how important it is.
Yeah, because you know what, it's always human error. Sometimes they might be torquing and they get called away and they forget.
Right.
Anything can happen, so definitely check for yourself.
And Roy even mentioned that when you're going down the road, when you make your first stop 150 miles out, check them again, because sometimes they come a little bit loose after going down the road and wobbling. So definitely recheck them. If you have your torque wrench in your socket all ready to go, there's no reason not to spend just a couple minutes and there's only mostly 4 wheels.
Correct.
So just go through that. Check your tire pressure. Ours had actually gauges that had green to show that they were fully inflated. My truck has gauges to tell me mine. But I also have a manual tire gauge because those tire things could get stuck. So again, the tires and the torque are your safety.
Yes.
So spend a few minutes. Make sure you listen to Roy. He's just trying to help you. He's going to give you all the information. He's going to show you how to check for blemishes. They're going to give you little inside information about checking the awning, because sometimes when they pull a trailer next to it, the
little rain gutters.
Rain gutter can run against an awning, and you don't realize it, but that dealer will.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to make sure you look for and all stuff.
How many times do you look at somebody's trailer and you realize that they've hit something? They've clipped the corners with their build on a building, anything, drove them through a tree.
Exactly. So another thing is he's going to also show you what trailers use the shackles for the weight distribution hitch and what doesn't, because some have a battery compartment that's lower than the frame and some on top of the frame. If they're on top of the frame, there's nowhere to really put your shackles where they're properly located. Other frames are powder coated, red or green or a specific color. You can't use the shackles because you'll scratch the powder coat. So he'll explain all of that. So just do your due diligence and take that day as a great way of meeting people, get information from them, talk to them, and learn.
Yes, definitely. And, once all of that was done, then we went back to the office. They printed out the driving test. For us, they printed out the copy of the insurance because we didn't have it on hand, and gave us dispatcher's name, and then we were sent on our own.
Absolutely. So we dispatched our first trailer. I was going to go pick it up that night, and our dispatcher says, don't get it tonight if you're not going to leave till tomorrow. We're at this hotel. There's 3 trailers out in the parking lot. And I'm like, well, at the hotel, there's 3 trailers. He goes, but here's the problem. Any car that comes in there, any trailer, anything happens to that trailer when it's off the lot is your responsibility.
Yep.
So why add 12 hours or 8 hours of responsibility when you don't have to? Just go to the yard, pick it up when you're ready to head out, and then you don't have to not sleep that night wondering if your trailer... I was going to
say, and I know you would not sleep at night.
I wouldn't sleep. So with all that said, orientation was great. The people that held it did a great job. I think Horizon Transport so far has been above and beyond, making sure that we are dressed for success, meaning prepared to make money, and they have plenty of trailers to pull.
And they're making sure that we are all legally ready and set to hit the road.
Yep. So in the description, we'll put the phone numbers for the recruiting department. So I know we're getting a lot of messages saying that people are interested in this. And we're going to put our driver number. When you call for the recruiter, mention our driver number because we'll get the referral for you.
Yes, please do.
Please do. Even if it's a call to ask questions.
Yes.
So, all right. So that's about all I have on orientation.
Yes. Now we need to get to bed because we got to get up early in the morning and hit Reno.
We're heading to Reno, Nevada. We're going to gamble a little.
Woohoo. We're going to go spend the money we made.
We're going to go spend the money we made, and then we're going to go down to California and visit our family.
Yes, and that's the great thing is you can sightsee, you can do whatever you want. The minute you drop your trailers,
you're vacationing.
You're on vacation time.
So go see we're going to go see Lincoln's birthplace here one day. But we've tried twice now.
But for this first time down to Reno, the family's most important.
Yep. So we'll see you down the road.
See you later.